What's beef? Beef is when your mom ain't safe upon the streets. What's beef? Beef is when you need 2 gets to go to sleep. What's beef? Beef is when I see you, it's guaranteed to be an I see you. One more time. Welcome to another episode of Word of Mouth. In case you're wondering, today we're talking about beef. My name is Rashid K, the Beast Rent God, the HNIC head nigga in charge.
It's the H to the N-I to the, you already see what time it is. It's the H to the N-I to the, see my niggas dying to live. It's the H to the N-I to the, see me, I'm the big dog. It's the H to the N-I to the, synonymous to hip hop. Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop.
Let's set it off. You know, beef is part of the hip-hop culture. It's part of the culture. There's been like beef since hip-hop started. You know, people been beefing, addressing each other through songs and whatnot, you know. So we're just gonna address a few of those beefs that are happening in SA hip-hop, or that happened in SA hip-hop, you know, from then till now. You know, at number 10, ladies first. At number 10, we have Ferguson versus Nunu Logic. Ferguson versus Nunu Logic. You know, so they've been beefing for a while. These tracks back and forth. You know, I don't know if it's done. I don't know if they're done with it, because just a few weeks ago, Ferguson was performing a diss track and Nunu Logic was in the venue. So I think it's still going. But yo, I don't know who's leading. I don't know who's taking it. That's for you to judge. You know, that's number 10. Ferguson versus Nunu Logic. I'm struggling to pronounce that. Lulu Logic. Nunu, not Lulu. Jesus. Nunu Logic. Sorry. Nunu Logic versus Ferguson at number 10. Number 9, there was once like hectic beef. If you guys were already into hip hop, it was versus El Tito and AKA. Were beefing once upon a time, and there were diss tracks. There were even physical fights, you know, when the guys met. That's what we call beef, you know, not that Twitter shit, talking shit about people on Twitter, talking shit about people on podcast, and you think you're beefing. You know, if you're a rapper and you got beef, put it on a song, nigga. Number 9, El Tito versus AKA. You know, at some point, El Tito was a member of the Glitz Gang. At some point, Glitz Gang was the coolest crew. You know, was the coolest crew. They were the Quellas of the time. So for you to get attention, you go with them. You know, so that's what AKA did. Moving to number 8. Number 8 is quite recent. It's quite current. It's the beef that's happening right now. It's Kill Brady versus Kane Kid. Kill Brady versus the new kids on the block. You know, if you don't know them yet, check them out. You know, they beefing, and they even took out some diss tracks, dissing each other. You know, so let's see how far that's gonna go. You know, I see on Kill Brady's diss track, my name was even mentioned, saying Kane Kid's only booking is at Back to the City by Rashid. Yeah, that's a line like that. So that's our number 8, Kill Brady versus Kane Kid. Check them out. At number 7, it's Long-time rivals. These cats have taken out diss tracks back and forth. I don't know how many diss tracks they have. It's Duncan versus Mtinai. Both of them from Durban. You know, they've been at it, you know, since, I don't know, man, before even the 2020s. You know, the 2015, 2016, they been taking out diss tracks, dissing each other. I remember Duncan even had Whole School Nation featured on a diss track, you know, dissing Mtinai, and Mtinai has been taking out tracks, you know, Mtinai can be personal like that, but that's one of those beefs that I don't think the cats are still cool, because enough damage was done. That's our number 7, Mtinai versus Duncan. At number 6 we have Gigi Lamaine versus Fifi Cooper. That's also, that beef has been going on for a while, you know. I remember Fifi taking shots at Gigi about ice cream on a song, and, you know, and Gigi released a diss track dissing Fifi called Come Outside. She hasn't responded because that track, I think it was dropped in 2025, directed at Fifi saying come outside, you know. So, you know, the girls be at it like that. I like when the girls beefing, man, because they take out all the dirty laundry, who got smashed by who, all that shit, you know. It's crazy. That's our number 6, Fifi versus Gigi. Then moving on to number 5. Number 5 is between Big Zulu and Duncan. That's another serious beef, you know, not just those Ubuntu diss tracks, you know. I don't know where it started or how it started, but rumor has it that way back before Big Zulu blew up, he asked Duncan for a feature and Duncan mised him, you know, and that didn't sit well with Big Zulu, so it kept on escalating to them dissing each other. They have, like, I don't know how many times they've dissed each other, but you can check that out. You can go on Google and type Big Zulu Duncan diss or Duncan Big Zulu diss. The songs will come up, you know. So yeah, man, I don't know if they ever gonna squash it, you know. Zakwe must be in an awkward situation because Zakwe is friends with both. Zakwe is friends with Duncan and is friends with Big Zulu, and he's making songs with both. I don't know if he can chill with both of them or it's one at a time. That's our number 5, Big Zulu versus Duncan. At number 4, we have another classic battle. Between Pro Kid and Kado. You know, that happened way back in 2005. I think it started around 2004, and then in 2005 they were on DJ Fresh's show on YFM, and they battled live. You know, the audio clip is there on YouTube if you wanna check that battle between Pro Kid and Kado. You can search it on YouTube, but it's just an audio. You know, back then there was no content, man. 2005, we didn't have smartphones. You know, we had our Nokias and our Samsungs, you know, and they had that 32 megabyte memory card, 32 MB, not 32 gig, 32 MB memory card. So you can imagine, that's what we had back then. Number 4, Pro Kid versus Kado. And then moving on to number 3. Number 3 is Double HP Jabberman versus MT. I think that beef, man, came from misunderstanding. That beef came from misunderstanding because I remember on Roll Up by MT Roll Up, he said a line like double HP Zenzu Bosolo or something like that. And I think double HP, may his soul rest in peace, misunderstood and misinterpreted that as a diss. You know, I still don't think it was a diss. Double HP Zenzu Bosolo, you know, and he wasn't talking about double HP. He was talking about whoever who was trying to be a boss like double HP. And double HP took it as a diss, took offense, and he went crazy at MT. You know, I'm sure it's water under the bridge now. Rest in peace, Jabberman. Moving to number 2. Number 2 is also current, you know. Usimamane versus the Quellas. You know, new wave kids can battle as well. Can like stand their feet, stand their ground. Usimamane, him taking 3 rappers was impressive. You know, it was impressive because we've been doubting these new cats. Like, hey, where's the bars? Where's the punchlines? Where's the metaphors? Where's the, you know, because you guys are singing half the time, you know. So yeah, so recently these kids have been like showing up, pulling up, like, yo, we here. So Usimamane was battling, there's these songs, like 3 cats from the Quellas who was there, like bullying them niggas. And they were also responding. They were not just chilling and taking the punches, you know. That's our number 2, Usimamane versus the Quellas. And then number 1. That's one is the greatest beef, the greatest battle, and the greatest whatever of all time in SA. AKA versus Casper. Those cats, like, they kept SA hip hop alive for a while. You know, they were beefing, they were dissing each other through songs, through tweets, whatever chance they get, they used to diss each other. You know, we know the classic Composure song, and Casper had Dust to Dust. You know, it was crazy. The game was entertaining. Man. And we saw people switching sides from Casper to AKA camp. Anati switched from Casper to AKA. Anati switched from Casper to AKA. Gemini Major switched from Casper to AKA. Ricky Rick, may his soul rest in peace, switched from Casper to AKA. You know, Nadia Nakai switched from Casper to dating AKA. that shit was crazy, man. That shit was crazy. No loyalty in this bitch. There is no loyalty. But anyway, still, that's part of the game. Number 1, AKA versus Casper. What's beef? You know. But there was another one, special mention, honorable mention. There was another classic battle that happened way back between Kato and Amu. You know, those are the type of beef that also stems from being interviewed. What do you think about so and so? And then you say something wrong, and then it just goes left. You know, there was that one. It was the case between Kato and Amu. You know, and Kato dropped a song called "Shine on My Shrine," dissing Amu, because Amu had said something about Kato shining on his shrine in an interview. So Kato used that as a diss track. You know, So that's one of the classic beefs. And then there was another one, which is also not documented. It was only in the streets. Squatter Camp versus Asylum Tribe. You know, that one was huge, and it was hectic because them niggas used to fight at events. You know, there was no diss tracks taken out. There was no. It was just like, fuck you nigga, I'ma fuck you up when I see you. You know, it was that type of beef. You know, I remember Flabber, may his soul rest in peace, punched one of them niggas from Asylum Tribe at Kind Center. You know, so unfortunately we don't have that documented. A lot of shit that happened back then is not documented. The biggest freestyle battle of all time between Pro Kid and Proverb, the battle of the pros that happened at Renshaw, is not documented. So it's like an hearsay, it's like a myth, it's like an urban legend, you know. But that was one of the greatest battles ever. You know, they battle for an hour. Freestyle battle from the top of the dome. Not this shit they doing now, 3 months to prepare and memorize lines. Proverb and Pro Kid freestyle battled for an hour at Renshaw. It was live on YFN. Ask the OGs who were there. You know what I mean? So we need to start documenting these things like I'm doing now. You know what I mean? Like I'm doing now, so that information doesn't get lost. And another one which is not documented was a battle between Slicker and Snaz D. When Slicker destroyed Snaz D, people up until today are finding that hard to believe, that Slicker destroyed Snaz D. You know, it's also not documented. Ask the OGs who were there. It's a word of mouth. You know, like ancient Africans used to tell history from generations to generations. It was word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm doing right now, but it's not gonna be word of mouth because it's gonna be on YouTube forever. Rashid K, peace.
It's the H to the N-I to the, you already see what time it is. It's the H to the N-I to the, see my niggas dying to live. It's the H to the N-I to the, see me, I'm the big dog. It's the H to the N-I to the, synonymous to hip hop.